Low-fiber diets. The purpose of the training is to become knowledgeable about low-fiber diets to help maintain and assist individuals with poor digestive to prevent bowel blockages and obstructions. Take a tour of the local grocery store and start reading labels for healthier options.
Brown rice, that kind of stuff.
Join Kelly, Hy-Vee's dietitian, as we look for better nutritional options to keep our members healthy, safe, and out of the hospital.
Less in fiber than what like a Smart Balance or Clean Cuisine kind of stuff would be.
Okay.
So you don't have to worry about as much. But if you're looking kind of just for a healthier option, that one is actually made from milk because it's made from that Fairlife milk.
Okay, sherbet is probably going to be more, or?
Sherbet's just going to have more sugar in it. It's not, it shouldn't have really any fiber in it. Sometimes it might have a little depending on what fruit it's made from, but it shouldn't have much. Yogurt in itself does not contain fiber, but it'll have words like this chicory root fiber in there. And then that means it's going to have that 3 grams. It's going to be higher. So chicory root and inulin.
And what was that?
Chicory root and inulin are 2 ingredients you want to look for in mostly yogurts and like ice creams, because sometimes they'll add those in there for a little bit of fiber.
Dairy, cheese, and yogurts are all going to be healthier choices. Be aware of the fruit on the bottom types of yogurts and count those fibers.
Cow's milk, and it's ultra filtered, so it's got half the sugar in there, and it's got almost double the protein as well.
Oh, okay.
But it's still going to have the same amount of calcium in there, and it actually has a longer shelf life. So if you're not huge milk drinkers, it is a good option. I always tell people fat-free is going to be your best choice, but they have it in 1%, 2%, and if they really like chocolate milk, this would be the best way to go because it's going to be much less in sugar. None of those are going to have fiber. Really, none of your dairy products are going to have fiber unless you get yogurt that has fruit on the bottom. So try to avoid that. But cheese is a great option because it's going to get you protein, it's going to get you calcium. String cheese and cottage cheese are both good because they're lower in calories because they're not as high in fat. And then Greek yogurt is phenomenal because it's really high in protein. Some of those will have a little bit of fiber in it, but we can kind of look at which
Waffles, pancakes, and made-from-scratch items at home will all have lower fiber counts, and paired with bacon and eggs will make an excellent breakfast for our member.
Roll or things like that, they'll be low in fiber again because they've got that enriched flour. These types of breakfast things, so like the ones made from eggs, or we have like an egg witch up there. Those are going to be lower in fiber because they don't have any kind of grain or veggie products in there. And then waffles as well, as long as you're not getting like a full wheat waffle, those should be fine too. So let's see here. That is similar or not. So there's 2 grams for half a cup. So potato would be better. But that would be an option. Again, just the mashing of that is what kind of helps the fiber get broken down in there. But frozen vegetables just in general are going to be higher in fiber than what a canned vegetable would be. As far as like pizza goes, if you're just getting normal pizza crust, that should be lower in fiber. Thin crust is going to be a better option. And then trying to get cheese, and if you can get like turkey pepperoni or like a leaner meat on there, that's going to be a better option than like a 5 meat, 3 cheese type pizza. It's not high in fiber, it's just high in fat. Down this way. So any type of butter is going to be very low. Crunchy is going to be 3 grams. Well, this one has 3 too. I would probably steer away from the preserves because those will have a little bit more. But like literal just jelly. See, fiber is not even listed there, so that means that there is no fiber. So no fiber in that jelly. Is that your bread has the word enriched in the front of it. So even if it is like
it's the Wonder Bread type.
And even if it literally says honey wheat on it, if it says enriched wheat flour, it's going to have very little. So it's only going to be 1 gram. But the honey wheat might be a good option because then that's going to have more B vitamins, different things like that that are beneficial.
Okay.
The other thing you want to watch for on bread is just the serving size. So some of them will say 1 slice and some of them will say 2.
Okay.
So be cautious that if you're like, oh, it's 1 gram, if it's 2 slices and they're having a sandwich, it's going to be 2 grams of fiber. So
Okay.
just a heads up thing. But yeah, something like this is going to be nice and low in fiber as well. And all the products, like the chips and things like that over here, they are going to be lower in fiber, but you obviously don't want to have too much of these. So that's where like the pop chips would come in, where they would be a better. I like these guys, they're really yummy, but they are just 1 gram of fiber, and if they go gung-ho and accidentally eat this whole bag, it's just 3 for the whole thing. So
good.
obviously you don't want to do that. We do have like the single serves up here, but these are just kind of a nice crunchy option. So there's cheddar, they've got apple cinnamon, and they also have caramel for like a sweeter one.
Okay.
And then the single serves have some ranch as well. So
Okay,
those
great.
would be options. Skinny Pop's got some down there too for just like a sea salt one as well. So those would work.
Okay.
Popcorn, you're gonna.
When selecting and assisting our members with snacks, of course, look at the dietary fibers. Most snacks are great at the dietary fiber count, but also take into consideration the serving sizes. Many, like these veggie straws, will have low fibers, high serving size per bag, and make a healthy treat for our members.
About with juice is it's just a really concentrated source of sugar. So you don't want to drink juice all the time, but like half a cup a day would be okay to get a little bit of benefit there, like maybe some in the morning with breakfast.
Plan out your members' menu as a team. Let your manager guide you on the shopping list. Organize not only the meals for the members, but also the snacks, so you have an organized menu and snack lists throughout the day. Get your member involved with reading labels as part of their ADLs, which is Activities of Daily Living.
You're gonna have less than 1, so goldfish would be
For
an okay
55.
thing. Yep, 55, so that would be an alright snack to have as well. Fruit snacks and stuff like that are not gonna have any fiber in them. They do have added sugar, so you're gonna have like vitamin C and stuff like that in it, so they will have some benefit.
Is
but
there a sugar-free?
there's not a sugar-free. There are ones that they try to do like made with real fruit and veggie juice, so they do have that, but those ones are probably, so there's 0 grams dietary fiber in there.
Okay.
And there's a bunch of different flavors of them, so they've got all sorts of things down here. So this would be a better choice than like Doritos or something like that, which are also low in fiber but don't really have much nutritional value to them. For crackers and things like that, like Triscuits and Wheat Thins are going to be higher in fiber, or like Hy-Vee woven wheats. Those are all going to be higher fiber options. Something that's still nutritionally sound, but it's going to be less in fiber, would be something like the Nut Thins. So Artisan Nut Thins are going to be high in fiber. You want to avoid those, but these ones up here that are kind of look like the more wafer type are going to be better. Because they are made with a rice flour, but they have almonds in them. So they're only 1 gram of fiber for 19 crackers. Yep, so it's a good serving, and they get a little bit of protein. They aren't getting any added sugars or anything like that, and all the heart health, or all the fat that's in there is heart healthy fat. So this is just kind of like a sea salt version, but they have smokehouse. They've got this new kind of cheddar cheese one. So there's a bunch of different kind of options
Even
around
if it's
here.
made with almonds, nuts?
Even if it's made with almonds, yep,
'Cause
it's ground up.
Okay.
Yep, it's ground up, so that fiber is really taken out of there, but you're still getting the heart healthy fats.
In the selection of cereal items, be aware and stay away from high sugar if possible. Anything rice-based will be lower in fiber and acceptable. Here you will see a few examples of good cereals. The Blueberry Chex is an excellent one with low fiber-tary count. However, on the other hand, be aware of this mini wheats. They will be always high fiber and should be stayed away from. A good healthy alternative would be grits with some canned fruit. Cream of wheat is another really good one.
It's
Okay.
not
The
gonna
pancake mix?
Pancake mix, yep. It's not gonna have much fiber to it. Oatmeal is very high in fiber, just
Okay.
naturally. So oatmeal's probably a no-go, but instead you could do like a cream of wheat or cream of rice, wherever that
Okay.
is. So the fiber in here is only 1 gram.
Okay, perfect.
And so it's 3 tablespoons when you cook it, but then it obviously gets bigger as it cooks. And so that is going to be a better option. Still can be nice and hot for them.
Okay.
We should have cream of rice or
Also, sunflower tortilla is going to be a lot lower in fiber than some corn tortillas. So look at the brand. It'll be very brand specific, as well as single serving sizes. Sometimes will be right in the exact fiber count that you would like. Less than 1 would be perfect. Under 2 is okay. Different pizza crust. Remember that a thin crust and using turkey pepperoni is a healthier choice than some of your triple cheese options. I always use enriched breads when you're looking for sandwiches and watch for the fiber counts and count that serving size. For a lot of your healthier lunch options, in walking around your local grocery store, you can find many single serving sizes that fall right within your dietary fiber limits. A lot of your ramens, your beef, your chicken ramens will be just exactly within the fiber counts. Also using the chicken broths and beef broths. Those will assist in making some
more
homemade
than we should.
soups
Okay.
and
So
vegetables.
we really want to pay attention to the serving size and then try not to get any that are going to be higher than that 2 grams here.
Okay.
So you're usually just getting like a regular pasta. So whether it be like high wheat or Barilla is just regular. Shouldn't say high fiber or protein plus or anything like that on it. And Barilla's got 3 grams, so Hy-Vee actually would be
Make
better.
sure your canned fruits are low sugar instead of the heavy syrup.
Like if you did a meat entree, because meat is never going to have fiber in it. It just depends on what they can digest and what they can't, as far as like fat goes and like toughness of the meat. But yeah, if you had like for breakfast, if you had scrambled eggs, those are not going to have any fiber in it. And then you had maybe a cup of mandarin oranges, which is 1 gram, and then you had yogurt, which is 0. It's only 1 gram at breakfast. And then at lunch, you could have like a white bread and peanut butter sandwich. That's not going to have very many. We can find some type of like snack food that doesn't have much. And then at dinner, if they did like that jasmine rice that has 0, they've got a pork chop or something like that, and then canned veggies. And so it takes some strategy. but
Yeah.
it is doable.
Doable.
Yeah,
Okay.
some people do it on accident, which I don't love. An apple is very high in fiber.
Okay.
This actually still has a decent amount, so this wouldn't be one you'd want to do. Let's see. One's a little bit higher too. So applesauce, even when it gets macerated down, can be a little bit higher. But these guys, so I always tell people to get the no sugar added ones.
Okay.
And then they have about 1 gram of only 1 gram of fiber on there.
Each one of these are 1.
Yep, those are just 1. And then peas are going to be 2 because they're a little bit higher in fiber. And I bet corn. Oh, this corn's actually only 1. So this would be a better option than like a canned corn just because
Okay.
it's going to have a little bit less.
Yeah, I think we're trying to avoid the peas.
Corn and the peas, yep.
Mhm.
So those are higher fiber and protein. So things that'd be better is like a canned green bean. Again, those canned tomatoes.
Even your canned beans, black beans, pinto beans, garbanzo beans are going to be a stay away from. Tomatoes are okay depending on your
Say that again?
individual's preference.
Tomatoes are going to be low in fiber, so you can do tomato sauce, diced tomatoes, all that type of stuff. Corn's going to be a little bit higher in fiber. Canned corn's a little bit better than like corn on the cob. Canned corn's going to be about 2 grams.
Okay.
Most vegetables, canned vegetables, they are going to be much less than what a raw vegetable would be. They're still going to be about 2 grams of fiber. We still want to get those veggies in because they've got all those sorts of nutrients and things like that. But when you're thinking about getting veggies in, you either want to get it in the form of a canned vegetable or like tomato juice if you can find a lower sodium option, or like some type of vegetable soup where it's nice and kind of filled with that gross.
Okay, so say that again. So potatoes are okay.
Potatoes, yep. So potatoes, mashed potatoes are going to be okay. They're going to be a little bit lower in fiber than what like a baked potato would be.
Okay.
You just don't want to incorporate the skin into the mashed potatoes if you're making them homemade.
Even in the rices, there's going to be rices that will be a better option. Balsamic and jasmine are two examples of how that's a better option than a brown rice choice. So be mindful of the dietary servings as well as the rice
Anything that's
options.
kind of not the brown or the wild rice is going to be a lower fiber option. So some of these that are going to have like the mix-ins and things like that, those are going to be fine as well. Again, you always want to check the food label on the back, but just as a starting
Okay,
point,
so
those are
just
going to be
for
better
example,
options.
You want to just grab a basmati.
Yep. So total carbohydrate and fiber here is 1 gram.
And that's for 1 pouch?
That
Serving
is going
size?
to be, yep, serving size is 1 pouch. So
Oh,
this whole
so this
thing is
whole
just
thing.
1 gram.
Okay,
Yep.
so that-
Jasmine rice. So, like when you're looking at the food label, so you want it to be total carbohydrates, and then you want to look at dietary fiber. A high fiber food is 5 grams of fiber or higher.
Okay.
For these guys, you want to keep it around 10 grams or lower in a day. So you'd never want to pick anything that's 2 or higher. Okay. So you want to keep it kind of below that threshold.
Okay.
So this is a nice thing to have, like if they are having pork chops or steak, because meat is not going to have any fiber to it. So you could do a cup of white rice, a pork chop, and then you could do canned vegetables instead, and that might be a good option to
Okay.
have for them. Okay.
So as you can see, there are many options for low fiber menu and still have some wonderful choices. Just walk down your local grocery aisles and look for all the many wonderful things that you could still make, have an enriched menu, keep the low fiber low, and keep our members healthy and happy and out of the hospital and avoiding bowel obstructions. Thank you for your time.